A few generations ago, there was a bunch of enthusiastic individuals who thought that too many historic structures in Shelton, Connecticut were being bulldozed or otherwise lost to the ages. They banded together in 1969 to save some of those buildings, formed the Shelton Historical Society, and moved heaven and earth to assemble a complex that would later become known as the Shelton History Center. The barn was resurrected in the late 1990s by some of those same volunteers who initially saved the house from destruction some 30 years before. The Shelton Historical Society is proud to have a certificate of commendation from the American Association for State and Local History for its exhibit in the Wilson Barn and statewide acclaim for the professional school programs offered. Visitors of all ages are able to ask questions during guided tours. Students handling tools and obsolete farm implements can't help but learn as they accomplish some challenging tasks during their class trips to the Shelton History Center. An 8th grader was overheard after one such program as she decided it was a lot of work to live a long time ago. Imagine attending classes in one small room with every kid in the neighborhood, whether they were 5 or 15. Or worse yet, imagine being the only teacher. Trap Falls School was just one of about 9 similar school buildings that existed before they consolidated and bused children to the bigger schools, Lafayette and Huntington. Speaking of buses, here's one actually called a carryall that was restored by several gentlemen who remembered riding on it to school in the 1920s and 30s. The Brownson House, built in 1822, teetered on its pilings and creaked ever so slowly on its half-mile trip from its original location on Shelton Avenue to its present site at 70 Ripton Road. There it stands as the centerpiece of the Shelton History Center. Step back in time to the year 1913 as you open the front door. Furnished to illustrate the lives of a middle-class farm family, Harry and Gertrude Brownson and their son. It is the only historic house museum in Connecticut that emphasizes ordinary citizens during this period in our history. Most houses are high-style or colonial and highlight wealthy individuals. All items owned by the Shelton Historical Society, from the tiniest artifact to the stained 1789 document to the 6 noteworthy buildings, bring to life the times, attitudes, and culture that help present and future generations connect with the past in a very real way. Thanks are due to all those early organizers who had the foresight to preserve elements, large and small, of Shelton's history. To all the volunteers who had the perseverance to make decisions and see projects through to completion. And community members who support the Shelton Historical Society through their commitments of time, talents, and treasures.